How's it going? So, my friends Shane and Megan are here from Edmonton. I assume they came here just for this.
Yeah!
So thanks for coming. Good to see you.
Way to go, Shane and Megan.
This reading has two phases. The first one is I'm going to read you some definitions from Urban Dictionary, and you can tell me if you've ever heard the word Weezer used in this way. Number one, Weezer. Someone or something which belongs to the beautiful little town of Wies in Germany. Weezer Burger equals the citizens of Wies. Weezer Straussen equals the streets of Wies. Weezer Flughafen equals the airports of Wies. Weezer Kirche equals the church of Wies. It goes on like this. Anyone ever heard Weezer using that way? Okay. Number two. Weezer. Somebody who has smoked a tad too much through their lifetime. Example. Cough. Wheeze. Gag. And there's a sentence here describing it. I'm just a burnt out old Weezer. Anyone? Number three. Weezer. A person, usually a college kid, who goes out to the bars hoping to hook up, but by closing time has failed in his task. So he rejoins his friends and fakes being happy, generally drunkenly, jumping, huddling around with them while singing along to typical bar songs that play when they want people to leave the bar. He pretends that being with friends is the reason why he came out in the first place. This one can also be used as a verb. Number four, Weezer. A band that is noteworthy for the fact that they have been kicked out of every musical genre they have attempted to be a part of. First, they got kicked out of nerdcore. Then, they were kicked out of emo. Then, they were kicked out of the Muppets. It's kind of sad, really. Has anyone heard any of those definitions before? Okay, so this is phase two. Now that we're actually talking about the band Weezer, I did this thing. I Googled Buddy Holly is the best Weezer song ever, and I found some really honest, earnest, and solemn people who had, very important things to say about Buddy Holly. And I'm going to read them to you. Hassan from Argentina writes, "This song is about a girl named Kang Hee that Rivers was in Santa Monica College with. The guys in Weezer would make fun of her. They were the homies. I know I'm right because Weezer says this in the booklet. Alone, the home recordings of Rivers Kumo." Thank you, Stan. Danny from someplace writes, "This video was one of the reasons Weezer hit mainstream success. Rivers Kumo, the lead singer / guitarist, resented this as he thought they only became famous on gimmicks. A Happy Days themed video. So he sought to remove all gimmicks from Weezer. The next video of Weezer, El Scorcho, is the opposite. Just the video of a band playing. No gimmicks. Thank you, Danny from someplace." Michael from Staten Island writes, "Great Weezer song. I heard recently that Rivers was in a bus when it skidded off the road and crashed. Rivers was sent to the emergency room. Was he okay?" Thank you, Michael from Staten Island. John from Andover writes, "One of the best pop songs of the 90s, and Kumo really had an understanding of those who do not fit the stereotype of beautiful people. Well done." Thanks, John from Andover. Jeff from Austin writes, "A lot of incorrect information in the previous comments. The inspiration of this song was a girl who Rivers went to high school with. She was Asian and spoke English very poorly. Your tongue is twisted. Your eyes are slits. She was the butt of a lot of jokes, and he fell for her and took up for her. I've read that they actually weren't dating, just platonic friends." Thanks, Jeff from Austin. George from Salisbury writes, "Ugh, that guy really does look like Buddy Holly." Thanks, George from Salisbury. This next one's amazing. Chelsea from Brainerd writes, "This is a cool song. I don't understand it though." Thanks, Chelsea. Chris from Elk River writes, "While Holly married a Hispanic girl, I'm not sure how that relates to being platonic. I assume they consummated the relationship, and the Crickets didn't actually play the song from MTN. Love is in the Air was written by Sonny Curtis, who was and is a member of the Crickets. Curtis also wrote I Fought the Law, among others." Thanks, Chris. I really have no idea what you're talking about, but I appreciate the effort. Alan from Singapore writes, "Michael is correct. If you have a copy of the Windows 95 CD, the video is in there." Which brings me to the moral of this story. Don't ever, 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 ever throw away your Windows 95 startup CD.